All right, folks, get ready for this whirlwind of an exchange that took place on The View with Jonathan Roumie, the actor portraying Jesus in the series The Chosen. When Joy Behar and her crew decided to question the authenticity behind the portrayal of Jesus and how it relates to modern socio-political issues, things got, well, a bit hot under the collar. Jonathan Roumie didn't hold back. He faced the heated exchange with unwavering faith and poise.
Your obsession with what is clean and unclean goes farther than God intended and does no good for anybody but yourself.
We tithe everything so the poor can benefit, down to the smallest plants grown in our gardens.
And to that I say, woe to you Pharisees! You tithe mint and dill and cumin, measuring carefully the last speck while neglecting what is actually important of the law. Justice and mercy and faithfulness. You blind guides, straining out an act while swallowing a camel. Look at these people. What have you done to help?
His insights pierced through the fog of controversy.
I think what was fascinating to me is growing up, I always saw the blonde-haired, blue-eyed Jesus, right? And now I go to a Black Catholic church and Jesus is brown. And I think it seems that you took such great pains to do that in this and to portray him as he probably likely was, since this was the Middle East, right? Most people don't know that. And he's also Jewish.
What happened next was nothing short of powerful. So you're in for a journey, diving right into the heart of spirituality, intersecting with today's narratives. And if you enjoy thought-provoking content like this, do subscribe, folks. Your support keeps us going strong. And hey, let's hit that 1,000 subscriber mark by the end of February. Let's make it happen together. All right, so let's dive right into the heart of that heated exchange on The View. Jonathan Roumie, known for his magnetic portrayal of Jesus in The Chosen, was like tackling some big, complex questions right from the get-go. The host didn't waste any time, trying to tie his portrayal of Jesus to contemporary social justice issues. They seemed almost eager to push a modern-day social narrative onto a historic and religious figure. I mean, if you ask me, kind of a bold move, right? So Joy Behar started with a biting remark about Roumie's Jesus not being the stereotypical blonde, blue-eyed depiction. It was a typical The View moment, loaded with, the kind of sharp critique the show has become infamous for. But Roumie handled it with a measured grace. He emphasized that, sure, Jesus wasn't historically a blonde guy. He was Jewish, from the Middle East, and portraying him with fidelity to his roots was their focus. This is where things got more complicated. The conversation seamlessly shifted towards how modern interpretations of Jesus can lead, or maybe have led, to friction in today's societal landscape. The host questioned if Roumie thought of Jesus as a social justice warrior of sorts, using him to navigate discussions around marginalization.
So in the clip that we saw earlier, which shows Jesus speaking up for marginalized people, the poor, etc., which is the Jesus that we love. Not everyone interprets that message the same way these days. Religion in this country even seems weaponized at times. As a man of deep faith, which you obviously are, does that frustrate you at all?
In that clip, we see Jesus basically taking to task the Pharisees that have essentially perverted the law or taken the faith and made it about the specificity in the letters of the law versus the heart of the law versus the community. They were taking great pains to follow the law at the expense of the followers. And there was injustice in that. And, anytime you see injustice taking place, Jesus is not going to be happy about that. And
Roumie, in his calm and composed manner, pushed back subtly, suggesting that the goal, actually, was to stay true to the historical context of Jesus' life and teachings, rather than framing him with modern political tags. And what's really, really annoying is this approach by The View. It's like they wanted to box this revered figure into current ideological battles. Roumie stuck to delivering a broader perspective that transcended today's political noise, especially pointing out that Jesus spoke out against injustices of his time, not as part of fireworks show for today's audience, but as a genuine call for spiritual reflection. Now, Roumie's faith story itself came into play, which made the discussion even more personal.
Find in that people are having a little bit of trouble in separating you from the part.
I already did.
Yes,
the mere presence.
Yes, but it's a whole different question for him because on a daily basis, people are responding. So I'm just curious.
Occasionally, the line seems a little blurred. So I try to gently just remind people that my name is Jonathan and not actually Jesus.
You can't hear their confession or anything.
I've had people try. I'm like, nope, save it for the priest.
He shared how he himself faced hardships, financial strains, personal battles, and his ultimate surrender to his faith. It was touching, to be honest, revealing how spiritual growth often finds its wings in adversity. Amid conversations about modern uses of religion versus historical authenticity, Roumie passionately spotlighted how essential it was for him and the creators of The Chosen to explore Jesus' true heritage and the diverse backgrounds of his disciples. How cool is that, right? It adds depth to stories we've heard so many times, giving the audience something genuinely refreshing. The View, of course, kept circling back to hot-button issues today, not letting up on trying to make this portrayal about divisive modern themes. But Roumie managed to navigate this tricky territory with refreshing sincerity. He flipped the conversation towards thoughtful storytelling rooted in authentic experiences from over 2,000 years ago. Conversations opened about how different cultures depicted Jesus throughout history to fit their community identities. Take Ethiopia and China, like he brought up. Religious art there visualizing Jesus and Mary in a way that's culturally resonant. It's art. That's what it does. It speaks to people in their unique tongues. So, watching this unfold, it's like witnessing a cultural dialogue evolve in real time, layered with tension, but at the same time with profound wisdom offered by Roumie. Love it or hate it, you've got to appreciate the subtle art of navigating such dense themes. And honestly, after all that, you kind of have to ask yourself, does this portrayal capture what Jesus represents authentically, or are they stretching it to, address today's challenges? So that's where you jump in. Let us know what you think. I mean, is Roumie's Jesus staying true to historical roots, or is it veering towards modern reinterpretations? Leave your thoughts down in the comments. Can't wait to hear your take.